Bayley hugged her. She actually hugged her. And that's exactly when Lyra Valkyria drove her throat first into the ropes and beat her half to death in the middle of the ring. Right there, in London, in front of 13,000 people. Nobody in that building saw it coming. Nobody watching at home saw it coming. Becky Lynch, of all people, apparently saw it coming, but we'll get to that. This is the full story of the most shocking betrayal on Raw in a long time, and trust me, once you hear everything that led up to this moment, it hits completely different. Welcome back to WrestleCore. Let's talk about what just happened on Raw. So first, let's set the scene. June 22nd, Raw is live from the O2 Arena in London, England. 13,000 fans packed in, and these people were electric for their home country heroes, specifically Paige, who was tagging with Brie Bella as part of Scream Mode to defend the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. The challengers? Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. And heading into this match, these two had been a team for over a year. More than a year of chasing those tag titles together, more than a year of losing together, more than a year of Bayley being the world's most enthusiastic best friend, motivating Lyra, hyping her up, telling her she's the best, believing in her even when the results didn't show it. Before the match even started, there was already a hint of what was coming. In a pre-match interview, Valkyria was dead serious. She said, flat out, they needed to win this. This was the one. Meanwhile, Bayley responded by talking about trust and friendship and how great they were together. In hindsight, that contrast was a neon sign flashing something is wrong. One of them was locked in as a wrestler ready to fight for gold. The other one was making a speech about feelings. The writing was on the wall and we all just missed it. The match itself was genuinely good. Bayley had a Bayley to belly on Brie Bella, but Paige pulled her out of the ring. Valkyria came flying off the stairs to take out Paige on the outside because Lyra Valkyria does absolutely not care for her own body. The crowd was fully behind Paige. This was her homecoming moment, but Bayley and Valkyria held their own. They cut the ring in half, they kept Paige isolated, and for stretches of that match, it genuinely felt like new champions might be crowned in London. After a series of hot tags, Paige started taking out both challengers with suplexes. She tried to get Valkyria up for the Paige Turner, but Valkyria countered into the Nightwing. Brie broke up the pin. Then after Brie took out Bayley on the outside, Valkyria and Paige traded pin attempts. Valkyria hit a Fisherman's Buster, but instead of going for the pin, she looked for another move. And that's where it went wrong. Paige countered into the Rampage and pinned her for the victory. Paige and Brie Bella retained. And the loss was on Lyra Valkyria. She was the one who got pinned. Which, by the way, is going to be extremely important about 12 seconds from now, so keep that in your brain. The match ends. Brie and Paige celebrate. The crowd is going absolutely nuts because their girl Paige just retained on home soil. Beautiful moment, right? Meanwhile, Lyra Valkyria is lying on the mat staring up at the lights, processing another failed title shot. And then here comes Bayley. Good old Bayley.
Bayley checked on Lyra, told her she was the best, told her it doesn't matter, helped her up. They hugged. And then Lyra Valkyria went absolutely feral. Valkyria hooked Bayley and threw her neck first into the ropes. She beat Bayley down, slapped her across the face, threw her into the ropes again as officials immediately stormed the ring trying to pull them apart. The crowd, bless them, was in complete shock. You could hear the gasps. The ref who rushed out there, the road agents, everyone scrambling. And Valkyria is just not done. Even as officials managed to get Bayley to her feet, Lyra charged right back in and hit Nightwing on Bayley. The Nightwing. Her finisher. On her own tag team partner. On the woman who had spent an entire year believing in her. Lyra Valkyria then stormed off. She walked to the back. And backstage, when Jackie Redmond tried to get her to talk, Valkyria refused to say a single word and brushed her away. And Bayley? Jackie Redmond tracked Bayley down in a backstage digital exclusive, and when asked for her thoughts, all Bayley could say was, "I have nothing to say." That silence from Bayley hit harder than any promo could have. Because this isn't just a wrestling rivalry. Bayley put in a year of genuine effort to make this team work, and she got Nightwinged for it. If that doesn't make you feel something as a wrestling fan, I don't know what will. Now look, if you're new around here and you want more WWE breakdowns, deep dives, and honest fan reactions delivered without the corporate filter, make sure you subscribe to WrestleCore, smash that like button, and hit the bell notification so you never miss an episode. We cover this stuff in detail so you don't have to scroll through 15 different places. Alright, back to Lyra and why this all makes sense when you really dig into it. Here's what makes this heel turn so compelling. Despite spending over a year together, Bayley and Valkyria never managed to win the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. They had several opportunities, but always fell short when it mattered most. Think about what that does to someone psychologically. Think about Lyra Valkyria specifically, a former women's intercontinental champion, genuinely one of the most gifted athletes on the entire roster. She's athletic, she's technical, she can go in the ring with absolutely anyone. And she spent over a year getting pinned in tag matches. While other women competed for singles titles, Valkyria spent much of the past year focused on tag team success that never came. Bayley's attempts to guide and encourage her may have become frustrating over time. What Bayley saw as support might have felt like unwanted advice to someone who already believed she could succeed on her own. And here's the cruel irony of it all. During her attack on Bayley, Valkyria actually blamed Bayley for their losses as a team, despite it being Valkyria herself who was pinned on Raw. That is peak heel logic right there. You get pinned, you blame your partner, you beat them up. It's delusional, it's irrational, and it is perfect character work. That's exactly the kind of thing that makes a great heel, someone who genuinely believes they are the wronged party when they are objectively not.
And then, because this is WWE and nothing happens in a vacuum, Becky Lynch got on social media immediately after the turn and posted, and I am paraphrasing, she basically said she warned everyone that Bayley would hold Lyra back and that she was right about everything, with hashtag Becky was right about everything. The sudden shift leaves Bayley without a partner and Valkyria beginning a new direction as a heel on Raw moving forward, and now Becky Lynch is out here playing I told you so from a distance, which means this story just got a third dimension that nobody expected. Now let's zoom out and look at everything else that happened on this absolutely loaded episode of Raw, because this was the go-home show for Night of Champions, and WWE was not playing around. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins became the new World Tag Team Champions by defeating Braun Breaker and Austin Theory of the Vision, and the manner in which it happened was pure chaos, because in WWE 2026, you do not simply win a tag title match. You win a tag title match with approximately 7 different moving pieces happening simultaneously. Logan Paul was ejected toward the end of the match, only to return with brass knuckles to try and secure the win. Because of course he did! Logan Paul with brass knuckles is the most Logan Paul sentence ever written. But here's the thing, Joe Hendry made a surprise return during the match. When Logan Paul attempted to interfere and hand a brass knuckles to Theory, Hendry's music hit and he chased Paul to the back. This was Hendry's first appearance since a storyline injury put him on the shelf back in May. Say his name, he appears. The man is genuinely over in a way that shouldn't be possible for someone who has been off TV that long, and the fact that he came back at that exact moment to tip the scales against the Vision was perfect booking. The Street Profits walked out of London with the gold, and the crowd absolutely lost their minds. Seth Rollins also got one over on Braun Breaker before their steel cage match at Night of Champions. So not only did the Vision lose the tag titles, not only did Joe Hendry come back to embarrass them, but Rollins got in a final shot before their cage match. Things are falling apart for that entire group heading into the pay-per-view, and the timing couldn't be better. On the King of the Ring side of things, Obafemi and Jey Uso stood face-to-face ahead of their King of the Ring final at Night of Champions, where the winner gets a world title opportunity at SummerSlam. The crowd in London was going absolutely bananas for Obafemi. The Oba chants were deafening from the moment he walked out. Femi cut a promo about Destiny, which, okay, every WWE babyface cuts a Destiny promo eventually, but when you're built like Obafemi and the crowd is screaming your name like a European soccer chant, it works regardless of the material. Logan Paul came through the crowd the way he always does, and he promised to shock the world. Femi warned Uso not to miss when he takes his shot, because even if he doesn't miss, Femi will destroy him anyway. It's the kind of trash talk that just makes you want to watch the match. These two have tremendous chemistry in promos, and the fact that Jey Uso is literally facing his cousin's Enforcer in the final, while the Bloodline drama continues to simmer in the background, gives this tournament final layers that a normal King of the Ring match just wouldn't have.
The Bloodline drama also bled into the LA Knight and Jimmy Uso segment, which ended with Solo Sikoa appearing and delivering a Samoan spike to his own family member Jimmy Uso, helping Knight pick up the win. Solo Sikoa continuing to do whatever Solo Sikoa wants in the middle of Bloodline chaos is exactly the kind of unpredictability that keeps this storyline from going stale. Nobody fully trusts anyone in that family right now, which is exactly how it should be. Chad Gable also came out to give an earnest, heartfelt apology to American Alpha, Otis, Maxine Dupree, and Tozawa. He called them out individually and gave each of them a direct apology for his behavior, with a particularly emotional speech directed at Otis. Despite that, Maxine refused to accept the apology and convinced the group to leave. There is something quietly compelling about Chad Gable trying to claw his way back to being someone you can root for, even when the people he wronged won't let him.
The crowd was chanting for him. The man has earned those Gable chants through sheer force of personality. And Io Sky knocked Liv Morgan out of the ring during a promo segment, setting the table for their Queen of the Ring final at Night of Champions. Morgan interrupted Sky's in-ring promo, landed a cheap shot, but Sky quickly turned the tables and sent Morgan scrambling after a springboard dropkick. Io Sky standing tall heading into the final is the right call. She's one of the best in the world, and Night of Champions should be her moment to prove it on the biggest stage. So to sum up what just happened on Raw, the Street Profits are your new World Tag Team Champions, Joe Hendry is back, Obafemi and Jey Uso are on a collision course for a throne, the Bloodline is somehow even more chaotic than before, and Lyra Valkyria beat up the nicest person on the entire roster and stormed off without a single word of explanation. That last one is the one that's going to stick, because betrayals in wrestling are a dime a dozen, but the good ones, the ones that actually mean something, those are the betrayals that come wrapped in a hug. The ones where someone who trusted you completely walks up to comfort you, and that's exactly when you decide to burn everything down. Bayley has spent her entire career being the person who believes in other people. She has been the mentor, the supporter, the tag team partner who always picks you back up. And Lyra Valkyria took every single bit of that goodwill and folded it into a weapon and used it against her. Whether this leads to a program between the two of them heading into SummerSlam, or whether Becky Lynch inserts herself into the mix because she can never resist an I told you so opportunity, honestly, both outcomes are exciting. Lyra Valkyria as a heel with an edge is a version of her character that the roster absolutely needs. She's too good to be anyone's sidekick, and after over a year of falling short, the frustration is completely believable. You buy it. That's what makes it work.
Night of Champions is this Saturday in Riyadh. We've got the King of the Ring final, the Queen of the Ring final, Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker in a steel cage, and whatever chaos the Bloodline has been building toward. This is going to be a massive show, and we are going to cover every single bit of it right here on WrestleCore. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, drop a like on this video so the algorithm stops treating us like a secret, and hit that bell so you're the first to know when the Night of Champions breakdown goes live. It genuinely means everything to this channel. Lyra Valkyria threw away a friendship, blew up a tag team, and attacked one of the most beloved figures in the women's division, in London, in front of her hometown heroes crowd, with zero remorse and not a single word of explanation. Whatever comes next for her, one thing is crystal clear. The Lyra Valkyria who walks out of Raw this week is a fundamentally different character than the one who walked in. And Bayley? Bayley has nothing to say, but you can bet she'll have plenty to say very soon. That's it for this one. Raw, June 22nd, 2026. One of those episodes you'll be talking about for weeks.